This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Bedford down here at York Hall. We're joined by 4-0 Danny Quartermaine. Danny, having a good night so far?
Yeah, brilliant night. It's getting busy out there now, leading up to the main event. I'm here to support my mate Matty Harris, who's on second fight on in a minute. So I'm looking forward to seeing his debut, to be fair, and what he's been working on in the gym.
We had Matty on the Boxing Social podcast a couple of days ago. We know he sparred with a lot of top heavyweights. Wasserman have been telling us good things. You know him. How excited should we be about him?
Yeah, massively. Most heavyweights are very exciting to watch anyway, crowd pleasers. But again, since probably COVID and getting back in the gym, he's been sparring every top heavyweight out there, a British heavyweight out there, like Derek Chisora lately, Daniel Dubois, you name it, Hughie Fury. He's been there and been sparring with the best, so it's a great experience for him. And then obviously tonight he's lucky enough now to go and showcase what he's been training and what he's been practicing really.
I suppose with heavyweights as well, he's going to want to come out here and probably put on a bit of a show for this crowd tonight, obviously live on Boxing Social as well. With a heavyweight, one good win, one good knockout, and everyone's talking about you.
Yeah, I mean, crowds are looking for the heavyweight knockouts, aren't they, to be fair. Matty does have that in him. He's just got to go out there and showcase his skills. Don't go looking for the knockout, and hopefully the knockout comes.
Let's talk about you then. You last in action on that Hennessy bill a couple of weeks ago. You happy your night's work?
Yeah, I've been happy this last 3-4 months because I've been busy fighting 3 times in 3 months, and I took the Hennessy show at short notice, sold out a fair few to the show, but I was glad to be able to get my 4th pro fight in over the 2 years. Obviously I had a fight before COVID, and I was getting back to it later on this year. It was a good showcase. It's great to be around the cameras. It's a whole new experience, and obviously I'm gaining a lot more rounds. Again, ready for the start of next year where I'm going to hopefully be showcasing my skills again.
We were talking off camera about the inactivity fighters have had because of COVID. There's even fighters with promotional deals that are standing still at the minute. Do you think in a way free agency's actually worked in your favour a little bit, where you've been able to hop on a Hennessy bill at the last minute and you can do whatever needs to be done?
Yeah, I'd say I've probably benefited from not being signed promotionally to someone. As much as I'd like to be, it's probably worked in my favour because there's fighters that are signed with promotional companies that there's a limited amount of shows out there and they're not being able to get on regularly throughout the year, so they're very limited to the amount of shows they've been able to fight on. So luckily for me, because I'm a free agent, I'm able to go around to different shows and fit in where I can, if you know what I mean. And again, that's me gaining more experience throughout my career.
I suppose, is it on your mind a bit when you're on these shows and there's broadcast cameras there, there's promoters sitting ringside, that while you are slotting in and getting on these bills, you look good as well, someone eventually, that phone's going to ring?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it really. Again, obviously at the Wasserman show, and I was speaking to Damien earlier, and obviously they're quite keen, and I'd love to be able to get to fight on one of these shows myself. Again, yeah, it's just waiting for that. It's that egg timer really, just waiting for the penny to drop and someone to really pick up on and what I am as a fighter, but also as a ticket seller and an entertainer, which I'd like to hope I am, and bringing the crowds to the fights.
What was it? This is the first time we've had you on, so tell me a bit. I know you're a popular fighter now, you say there, you're a ticket seller. What was it that made you box in the first place, and why did it stick?
So I started boxing when I was about 10, 11 years old, so I'm 24 now, so I've been at it quite a while. I first initially went into the gym just to keep fit. And then I got offered the opportunity to compete, and I won my first fight. And obviously, again, a lot of fighters will talk about it. The feeling of winning, the crowd being behind you when you've won is an exceptional feeling. Like you probably can't describe it. So since that moment, it spurred me on to keep fighting and keep being busy, which I have been very busy, having 89 amateur fights. So I gained a lot of experience, fought a lot of kids, but also I was saying earlier on about I travelled the country, which I probably wouldn't have done if I hadn't have boxed. So again, you're gaining all sorts of experiences from that, meeting a lot of people in the game.
I know a lot of boxers, they enjoy the individuality of boxing. With team sports, you're relying on other people, but boxing, it's all there on you and there's nowhere to hide under the lights. Your mate Matty Harris, for example, I'm pretty sure he was an Aston Villa Academy footballer. He switched over to boxing. Was that something that appealed to you over other sports, maybe?
Yeah, so from a young age, I've played football and rugby and done, I'd say I've done okay in them. Again, it's a team sport, so it can be off days, but you can get away with it because the rest of the team are helping along. Whereas boxing is very much different. It's a sole sport. Again, you have your trainers with you, you have your coaches, you have your strength and conditioning coaches, you have your managers helping you along with the background stuff. But once you're in the ring, it's you and another fighter. And if you have an off day, it's how are you able to cope with that, having that off day to still come out with a win. And that boils down to your mental state and how you can pull yourself from the bottom and go and win that fight even though you're having an off day. And it's all on yourself. It's all down to the hard work you're putting in the gym yourselves. You have to stay motivated in the gym even when times are tough. When you're waiting for fights, especially with COVID, you're waiting a whole year until you fight, and you've got to keep yourself motivated, keep yourself on weight, and make sure your training's going to plan. And if you're not motivated, that's when you're going to see flaws in your skills, and you're going to have bad nights of boxing where things might not happen the way you want them to.
Right, Danny, I believe we're not too far away from Matty getting in the ring, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social. I'm sure we'll catch you when you've got a fight sort of lined up. Thank you.
Yeah.